Okay, the slow and painful process of beginning a live stream has concluded, and now it's actually begun. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Oh, I go through this every week. Oh man, getting it set up is always the most difficult part. Screw everything else. I don't know why. It's kind of strange that it is, but it is. So let's see here. I have one viewer already, but I'm trying to actually get to the page so I can see what's going on. Because that's very important to me, you know? Actually being able to watch it. Anyway. So, you can tell what this is already going to be about. It's going to be about this thing, which has a video that I've made, but I haven't actually edited it yet because I'm lazy. Eventually you'll see that. Probably not until like July or whatever. Because I've got quite the backlog of videos. I don't know. I don't even know what camcorder I've got that installed on. Wow. I don't know which one I've got it. What's the right word? Recorded on? Or I even got it in the computer. I might have it on the computer already. I'll have to go looking for that. This is a very interesting URL. I think it's the first time I've seen an underscore in a YouTube URL, but I guess they're kind of running out of URLs now. It's kind of scary to think about the number of videos that YouTube accepts for upload in one day. Oh, it's got one of those damn characters in it. I love those things. Can't tell whether that's an uppercase I or a lowercase L. I guess I'm going to find out. It is an uppercase I, so I would have got it wrong. Okay, I hope that's correct. Oh, well, it is. Okay, well, anyway, this thing, you probably have no idea what it is. I'm going to save most of it for the video, but suffice it to say it's got a Core 2 Duo E6750 in it, an Intel motherboard. It was picked out of scrap. I had to put a new power supply in it, as well as a CPU and the heatsink. It's one of those crappy Intel piece of junks. I hate them, but it was cheaper than buying a new heatsink, so let's go ahead and plug it in, see if it actually powers itself on, which it doesn't look like it does. I'm going to see if I can get the system set up on this. Green power LED only somewhat works. The key, I believe, is F2 to get the set up on this. So I'm just going to keep hitting it until it actually works. Unless the system died. It does generally take these things a while to start posting, though, so it should start beeping at me in a second. There we go. Alright, so now we can actually tell what this is. So what do we got? Core 2 Duo E6750. I was actually right about that. Wow. 2.66, 1333 of FSB. I think this is actually an older board. It's a green PCB, where I think the last one I used had a blue PCB, but I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch that video. So I'm going to make sure that everything is actually set up properly. It's half off the screen. We'll fix that. So, peripheral configuration. I'll make sure that all of these are set up appropriately. TPM is disabled. That's good, because it's supposed to be. Apparently you can't disable the onboard LAN. That's rather interesting, but I think all of these boards are like that. Okay, we got hard drive and that, which is good, because I want both of them. What's in the event log? Anything. Oh, there's a keyboard error. Mark events as read. Sure. Video configuration, don't really care. Fan control, that should all be fine. What if the front fan is even working? Guess I'll find out in a second when I take a look at the hardware monitor. Well, it is. Oops. I do not like the zoom on this. You can see this one actually reports the temperature as opposed to the thermal margin, which I think was a very annoying decision on the part of Intel to do the thermal margin. I'd rather have the temperature. Still really don't like the fact that the ICH and MCH, that's the North Bridge and South Bridge, are as hot as they are, but whatever. Voltages look okay, even though that's a Bestech power supply and doesn't even fit in the case. And of course, CPU cooling and the inlet fan are working. There's a fan in the front of the machine, and of course there's the power supply and the CPU fan, but power supply is not monitored. It doesn't support fan speed monitoring. Press escape to continue, chipset config. I suppose if I wanted to, I could do some mild overclocking, even though it's an Intel board, and they generally weren't meant to do that. Really? USB. Oh, that should be fine. Okay, I'm going to turn this off, because that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, I have another phone here. Anyway, I just showed some private information. I don't know. So let's see. Chassis intrusion, don't really care. Intel virtualization, don't really care. Not really going to need that for what this is going to do. Which is basically to replace my HP Compaq Evo D510. Not because the D510 is not good enough, or that I'm trying to get rid of Pentium 4 computers, but you can't actually start that D510 without having a keyboard attached to it. And I don't have a spare keyboard with which to use for that, so I'm just going to put this in its place. Much easier. Okay, power settings. After power failure, power on. So I don't have to keep going down and turning this thing on every time the power fails. Always a good idea. Everything else looks okay. Boot looks okay. CD-ROM, hard drive. Boot to removable devices should probably be enabled. Well, actually it had USB boot already turned on, so maybe it didn't matter. Boot USB devices first should probably be turned on at least, though. UEFI should be turned off because it's a piece of crap. And I don't want Intel Management Engine. Okay. So now, I'm going to save, exit, and changes. Save, exit, and changes. Save, changes, and exit. Wow, it's been a long day, I tell you what. Had to get up this morning at whatever time it was. I actually don't even remember. I'm still waiting for my disk to download. Because apparently Canonical servers are crap. Really slow. No bootable devices. Insert boot disk. Well, I'm going to make a boot disk here in a second. Go over to my main machine and use image burn. I'll never get used to the fact that I don't have to turn the stream encoder in the studio on to burn DVDs anymore. But it is so nice to not have to do that. Oh, it's got to erase the disc too. Wow, that's going to take forever. So I'm going to waste like basically half this stream just burning a DVD pretty much. That sucks. Well, I can at least see if the optical drive will eject. Which it will without help. That power LED is showing up a lot better on camera than it does in real life. Although the fact that it's very unevenly lit does show up. The 80 gigabyte drive that's installed in it is one from a former NAS drive. So, there's one thing. Alright, 18.04 AMD 64 server. Excuse me. Alright. Yes, erase the disk. That's why I want you to burn it in the first place. The system had an issue, actually, booting to USB keyboards originally. Booting with USB keyboards. I couldn't go into the system setup. And then all of a sudden it just started magically working. I don't know. That's kind of weird. So, this is one thing. Okay. Got several videos that I need to record tonight. I have to get out that HP 486 and have a look at that, make sure the battery hasn't exploded in it or anything like that. I suspect it hasn't, because the last couple times I have, it hasn't. And it was actually holding its system settings the last couple times I pulled it out. But I'm gonna pull it out on video and check that out and see if that'll work. So that's gonna be a video. I got a Windows Vista install to do. Yeah, Vista, you. But I have basically it's a nostalgia box. I'm going to do that on video. I have a home theater PC project. That'll be on video. Of course, that's still an ongoing project. I still need some parts for that. Maybe even some more parts, depending upon how far I want to take it. I'll have to do some testing and make sure that everything is going to work out the way that I want it to. And then what else? I got the Zenith 486 to work on. Probably going to put that SCSI drive back in it. That's going to be done on video. Trying to think. Vaguely recall there being other things that need to be done with that. The NEC's got to get a regular hard drive in it then. Regular IDE drive. I have a pfSense box I'm planning on making. I have a syslog server I'm planning on making. That's not what this is. And this is also not a pfSense box. Like I said, this is replacing the Compaq Evo D510, which will not boot if it doesn't have a keyboard attached. And I don't have any keyboards or keyboard controllers just laying around or anything like that, so won't be doing that. My chat isn't working, you know? I just noticed that. The chat messages are not appearing on the side. Why not? Show me live chat messages. There we go. I have no idea why I did that. Well, that's Android for you, turning things off and turning things on when you don't really want it to. Can you tell I'm not a fan of it? Even still after having used this. It's got so many... There's no big issues. That's the problem. If there was like one or two big problems, then I probably wouldn't mind it as much. But it's got so many little niggly things that it does or does not do that it's just irritating. Every time you turn a corner, you come into contact with something that's like, oh yeah, that doesn't work here. Or, oh yeah, they do it this way. I don't know. It's got a bigger screen, and it shoots 60 FPS, and I don't know. I don't feel like investing the money, honestly, to fix the other one at this point. The iPhone. Maybe I will anyway. Just to keep it around as a camera and maybe a spare phone, but... Because this thing is, like, less than useless. Also an Android phone, if you're wondering. And I'm also not a fan of it, if you're wondering. Not that you needed to ask. We're about 50% of the way through burning the disk, and it's going to take another 2.5 minutes to do that. Well, I wasn't too far off about it taking about half the stream just to do that. I think I scared away all my viewers by saying that Android is terrible. Okay, well that's not really what I meant. It's not terrible. It's just got so many niggling problems that it's hard to get used to, you know? Is this thing even working? I don't know. I guess I'm going to find out. That's another problem I've noticed with this. Well, it has to be working because I can see myself in the background. I think the quality is like junk, but... Yeah, I think everybody just disappeared because I complained about everything. Oh well. They'll get to watch the archive. Yeah, this I don't think this is working correctly. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, not really. Oh. No, I zoomed out. I wanted to stay out. I think next week I'm going to just go straight back to the iPhone to do this because this is ridiculous. I mean, on one hand, it's brighter. On the other hand, if it starts pixelating and looking like crap like that, I mean, like, what's the point? So, like, you can... I can't say I didn't try it, at least. So So, everybody that's been complaining, you need to use Android more often. Well, this is why I don't. It's because it just doesn't work quite right. So I'm going to turn that back on and see what's going on, see if somebody's sending me a message or something saying, hey, your stream doesn't work. Which it probably doesn't, you know? Although I wonder if it works better. You know what I could try? I wish there was something more interesting I could do in the intermission while I was burning this disc, but of course that's the issue, is I waited way too long to start burning this disc, so... Of course, it's because I waited too long to start downloading the thing in the first place. And they've got slow servers. I don't know why. It's the year 2019. They should have faster servers than that. It's Canonical we're talking about. Okay, like 2 minutes remaining my ass. This is like seriously getting annoying. Takes way too long to burn discs. Well, I could, you know, since nobody's here, I could just end it early and not do any of this and do it on video, but, Nah, I'd rather do it live. We'll do live! I'm not going to use the inappropriate language. At least not yet. When it fails to work, I might use the inappropriate language, but, yeah, this is live. I can't edit it. That's the kind of thing I would usually edit out of a video. I say that a lot in these. It's taking an awfully long time to synchronize the cache. Like, the last 2 minutes have been spent synchronizing the cache. Wonder why it takes so long to do that. Oop, it's ejecting the disk, I think. There's now a down arrow on my screen. Why is that there? What happens if I press it? Nothing. It's the button that does nothing. Okay. Now it's got to read the disk. How long is that going to take? Well, it was faster. Another 2.5 minutes. Are you kidding me? Better not. Okay. Well, where'd it go? I misplaced it. Or maybe somebody stole it. I don't know. I'm always constantly losing things, you know? Because I forget where I put it and then I can't find it. There it is. So, well, anyway. Oh, man. Pop-up Shazam is on. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, it's going to take about another 2 minutes just to verify that disk. It's only 812 megabytes. What takes so long? I love how the reflection of the fan is visible in that screen. That's kind of funny. It's not focusing on the display. I wish it would actually do that. Wow. Well, I didn't ask you to do that. I wonder if I could get it to refocus. There we go. Well, that didn't help. It seems to I put it in focus, it works, and then it autofocuses itself right back out of focus. I don't get it. Like I was saying, everybody left as soon as I started talking about Android. That was funny. Seems to be the common thing here. You know, everybody else can talk trash about stuff, but I can't. Everybody else can smash things on video, but I can't. That seems to be the general consensus. Okay, so I've got this disc here. which is maybe possibly burned okay. I don't know. Guess I'm going to find out. Insert boot disk and press any key. I just pushed a key. I haven't actually checked to see if this thing will boot. I don't know. Well, it did boot off of a test disk. Here we go. Oh boy, alright. Keyboard equals universal. That's what that symbol means. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. They've had that symbol for a while, though. A TPM error occurred while reading blah. I disabled the TPM. Why are you reading from the TPM? I think the TPM was enabled when this thing was in regular service. I don't know much about it. All I know is that it was sitting in a pile of junk. And usually they don't work when they're sitting in a pile of junk, but the last couple of times that I've found Intel motherboards specifically, the DQ35JOs, JOEs if you want to be more specific, timed out waiting for disk. That's awesome. So, maybe it's not working quite as the way that it's supposed to. Of course, it's possible that it's because of whatever is on the other thing. I hope it's not booting into a live environment. I want the installer. No limits. That could take forever. Why doesn't it just skip it? There's no option. That's the other thing I don't like. There's no option to skip parts of setup. Okay. Ooh, this is a new installer. I think they call this Subiquity, if I read the website right. Of course, it's not in focus because stupid piece of crap. Okay, English is my preferred language. Hope all this is going to show up on the screen. You probably can't even read it. There isn't much I can do because this thing apparently will not focus. Come on. No, focus. Okay, that's all good. There shouldn't be anything that I need to do there. I want to install Ubuntu. Network connections. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I want to hook it up to the network. And at least I can actually hot plug machines on my network without setting static IP addresses now. I have no idea what was wrong when I had my other computer installed here, but my old main rig, the T430, but DHCP didn't work. Well, it worked on some machines and not others. And it was really random whether or not it would work. It was really annoying. But the new machine works just fine. You're probably going to get a lovely view of my backside here in just a second. I'm going to try and install the Ethernet cord at the back of the machine. Here we go. Alright. So, let's see. Info. Blah, blah, blah. That looks fine. Edit IPv4. Well, let's say done and see what happens. And I see it's out of focus again. Why is it out of focus? There's like plenty of things for it to focus on. What a piece of junk. Hey! You can't even tap on the screen to get it to focus either. This thing is worse than... I've got a not mini DV, but a VHS-C camcorder up in my closet right now. Network configuration timed out. What a joke. Okay, well, if that's the game you want to play, then that's the game you're going to lose. I don't want that. I want DHCP. This installer is junk. Okay, I gotta reboot the whole machine and do that all over again just because it... Okay, well, yeah, no, this installer is crap. This thing sucks. Turn it off. Try that again. What a mess. I like the old installer better. Maybe I'll just use Debian if it's going to do this crap. Alright, I don't have time for this junk. I'm going to just force it off. Oh, the hard drive LED works. It takes so long to post. You could almost make yourself a cup of coffee while it does so. Well, the good news is that the machine is definitely very quiet. Like, really quiet. Of course, it's no real improvement over the D510, because the D510 was really quiet too, after I removed the noisy ball-bearing hard drive that was in it. TPM errors. Oh, man. Oop, damn it. Okay. Waiting for disk. I'm probably going to run into a problem with disk config. Just watch. Waiting for network to be configured. Did it actually configure the network? I bet it hasn't. Well, that's starting up a little faster. Oh, maybe not. It's getting stuck at the same point it did before. A start job is waiting for blah. Who cares? Skip it. Shouldn't even need it anyway. Yeah, I think that the old installer was much better than this is. What do we have? Preferred language? Sure. Shouldn't need to change that. Install Ubuntu. DHCP has supplied no addresses. Fine. Watch this. You want to do something dumb? Well, I'll show you. Subnet. Why do I need to put that information in? Okay, well, that's wrong. Oh, let's see. If I remember how that works. Let's assign it a random address for now. Oops. Search domains, who cares? Save. There. Do not need a proxy. Mirror address. Don't care. Use an entire disk. That one. Let's see. Is everything okay? Well, I don't really care. Done. Continue. Now I got to put in all this information. Oh, you can't use capital letters. What a piece of junk. Okay, I gotta enter in that information, so I guess I'm going to show you something convenient, like, oh, I don't know, what's convenient here? Oh, I know what's convenient. I have a little Ethernet card here that has BNC on it. So I'm gonna put in all my details and then I'll come back. Okay, I love the fact that it's looking at something very solid and there's plenty of light and yet it's not focusing. Yep, I'm going back to the iPhone next week. Because at least the iPhone focus. Sorry, loading snaps from the store failed. Who cares? So now I'm going to have to install everything manually because it's a piece of junk. Actually, I probably could have just hit try again and see what happened. Yep, this installer is junk. Good job, Canonical, for basically wrecking the only good thing that you had about your operating system. I'm gonna go get myself a drink and you can watch this process bomb out, because that's what it'll do when I'm not watching it. It hasn't bombed out yet. Wow, impressive. I wonder, do I actually have another AMD 64 image? I have desktop. Oh, there we go. 14.04 server. But I don't know. Do I want to use that? I don't really want to use that. I'm probably going to end up just downloading the one with the regular install, the Anaconda. Because it seems to work so much better. I don't know why. That's just weird. You know, you think they wouldn't break it nearly as bad as. Okay, download the alternate installer. This is not arranged very well. Yeah, like, not even remotely close. Well, it's a smaller image. It's still going to take forever to burn it. Installing kernel, installing missing packages. Blah. I might have to just go try and reinstall it again. Maybe that's what I'll do. Once I know a little bit more about how it works. It's a learning experience. I haven't done the new one yet. With the new, what do they call this? Subiquity or something? Configuring Pollinate user agent on target system. To be fair to Subiquity, at least it looks nice. Alright. Reboot now. I guess I'm going to find out how difficult it is to install things like Apache or whatever. Go ahead and eject my disk. The thing will go out of focus because it's a piece of junk. Remove the medium. And there we go. Off to the races. No bootable device. Really? Huh. Maybe there is a problem with his motherboard. Or maybe I'll just have to try it again anyway. Let's have a quick look-see here. Boot config... Well, it's not in there. Boot. We'll turn off boot to removable devices. I'm going to turn off boot USB first. Just to see if that's causing a problem. It might be, you know. These Intel boards behave in very strange ways. But I'm pretty sure it's just Linux deciding to be Linux, breaking itself as usual. No bootable device. Yep, what a piece of crap. Maybe my SATA port's bad. I don't know. Maybe the whole board is bad. Again, I don't know. But I'm going to try that again, just because I can. And I got a little bit of time. I got about 20 minutes, 23 minutes. To give it another try. See if it'll actually do its one job. Alright, install. Don't think I got enough time to try and burn another disk, though. Yeah, no, because that's probably going to take a while to download. Maybe it's because I didn't... I'm going to have to look into that, too. Because I just accepted all the defaults without thinking that maybe we should do something else. The fact that it's not smart enough to assign a DHCP address to it is kind of concerning. If I'd have known that it was going to be this kind of a piece of junk, then I wouldn't have bothered. Why is it out of focus? There's really no reason for that. Like, I don't think I finished my statement there. This thing is worse at focusing than some of my VHS-C camcorders are, including that, what is it, that Panasonic PV-11D, the really old one? That focuses better than this piece of junk does. There's really no excuse for it. This has just turned into kind of a complaint video. Complaint stream about how much of a piece of crap this thing is. Okay, back to setup. Alright. English is my preferred language. Keyboard is identified. I want to install Ubuntu. DHCP has applied no addresses. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Manual. So search domain, save, done. Network config should be instant, no proxy. Choose that archive, use entire disk. Okay. BIOS grub. It's not asking me. Okay. Nope, this installer has serious bugs in it. Okay, good to know. Yep, there are definitely serious bugs here. Yep, buggy installer, not gonna work. So they got some work to do on that. I guess it's not contacting my network. That would be my guess. Is that I can't talk to my network. Fine, whatever, I don't care. Life's too short to be playing around with crap, so I'm gonna just use the other one. Don't have time to do that. Because, like I said, their servers are undeniably slow. Like, really not understanding why this is as slow as it is. It's going to take 9 minutes to download 300 megabytes. What the hell? If I wanted to waste time, I'd install Windows Vista. All of a sudden, I'm starting to wonder if maybe doing the Vista install would have made for a better video. This thing is crap. I wonder if I have a boot manager. Maybe it just didn't install a bootloader. It just expects that... Maybe it's expecting UEFI. I don't know. I wonder what would happen if I were to turn on UEFI. Probably nothing good. I'm sure that'll make, like, microwaves jump out of the screen or something. Let's see. I have a boot manager in here somewhere. That's Windows 8. That's not going to help me. I don't have a floppy drive with which to use. I know where my boot floppy is, but I don't know where my... There's my UB CD. That isn't quite what I want right now. Maybe I don't have one. But I got rid of it because I never use it. NAS for free. No, no, no. Puppy Linux. Windows Embedded POS Ready 2009. Which actually I had a thought. I wonder when that actually goes out of service. Out of support, I should say. DOS 622. None of those are things that I want. Nope, I don't see it in here. So I guess it's missing. Maybe I'll never find it. Whatever. Like I said, life is too short to be playing around with crap, so... I think later on, off camera or whatever, because I'm certainly not going to have the time to do it now. Unless this disc will manage to burn in 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes. Hello. So this Ubiquiti installer is a piece of junk. Doesn't work. What a surprise. Yeah, it's going to take another 4 minutes to download the regular installer. You know, the one that actually works. Or the alternative option would be to concede that this motherboard has problems, which I wouldn't put behind it. It was a scrapped computer, after all. If my USB port's dead, and I'll have to put it on another USB port. USB port? SATA port. Can't talk tonight, apparently. I think one of my other projects this weekend is going to be tearing apart a 5¼ inch floppy drive to see if I can get it to work. Hope I can. Because 5¼ inch floppy drives are expensive. If you ever priced those on eBay or whatever, they're like $30, and that's not even including shipping. Once you factor in the shipping, it's like $70-80. You kidding me? I'm not spending $70 or $80 on a 5¼ inch floppy drive. No, thank you. Okay, executing late commands. Reboot now. Are we taking bets on whether or not this is not going to work? I have no output. That's nice. Well, remove the disk, push enter, and we'll probably get the message that I'm expecting to see, and that is no bootable device. Maybe it wants UEFI. Maybe it assumes you have UEFI. Yeah, no bootable device. I don't think so. So what it's doing is it's not installing the bootloader. So I'm not sure what they did to this, but they have some serious bugs with it. So if anybody from Canonical is watching, or anybody from the Subiquity installer group is watching, fix your crap, because it doesn't work. Amazing, I haven't actually managed to use a swear word yet. There's my boot manager. Alright. So, let's see if there's anything on this at all. See if there's anything on this disk at all. Anything on the boot. Anything to boot from. Wow, I really can't talk today. Huh. Focus and stay there. HDA partition 1. No valid boot sector signature. Continue boot, yes. Just because I'm a daredevil. Well, it's not doing anything. It looks like it just wrote corrupt garbage to the hard drive. What a piece of crap. It's still not done downloading. It's been time. So this should have downloaded by now. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it looks like it just wrote corrupt crap to the hard drive. No surprise there. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try one last thing. Actually, no, that isn't going to work, because I don't have the... If I was smart about this, I would have burned this disk long before having to do all this, but well, I'm not smart, so... Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if something will install. That way I can verify whether or not my board is any good. So, let's see. Let's grab something that's actually got a traditional installer on it. Such as, oh, I don't know, Q4OS is a good thing to try, because it's the first disk I happen to find. Let's try that. All I want to do is see if something will install, see if it'll work. Or if maybe I got more problems lurking underneath the seams here. Beep. Classic install. Now that is what I like to see. The installer that actually works. English. Don't really care. Don't really care. As long as the keyboard is set up properly. Okay. got 9 minutes to do this. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe I'll give it a little bit more time. I'll be nice. I'm going to burn this disk while I'm here. Ubuntu 18.04.1 server AMD 64. So, full name for new user. Who cares? There, done. Eastern time. Detecting disks. Starting up partitioner. Use the entire disk. Finish chain, write changes. And now the install process should begin. Hopefully on a system this modern, this doesn't take too long. $9:52, 8 minutes. Yeah, I think there are problems. Sounds like we just ran into a RAM problem here. I think my memory modules are not very good. One of my memory modules must have just failed or something. Let's see if I can turn that off. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just cut this off now because it's obvious that I have to do some further work to this. There's probably a problem with the motherboard, and that was why it was tossed. So that's enough of that. I don't have time to really mess around with this too much further, so we'll come back to this maybe next week or at some other point.